Yeah, I love watching this team play like them before they even made it into RLCS, and they've just grown to become, I would say, just the better version. I think they've just evolved into the next version of themselves, and wondering if this is their maximum evolution or if there's even one more. But yeah, BDS have got to be the favorites here. They're the best team in Europe. There's no question about it after their run this weekend. As long as they can put up a fight here against Giants in the final, I think they're confirmed best team in the region, win or lose. But I think we won't even have to question it, because this should be the BDS win.
Here we go, game number 1, best of 7. No matter the result here, BDS will top the table of overall points in the European region. But back-to-back in one of the most difficult formats ever put together in esports, just in general, would be such an incredible task. And would also set a little bit of a, because we haven't been able to see international competition, it would throw the gauntlet down across the Atlantic to Space Station Gaming, who are going to try and repeat that feat next week.
Indeed, that would be a really interesting story to start on watching unfold in a world where we can't have international competition. At least they can compete against each other in titles, who can win more regional events. But BDS have got the advantage there. They're one step ahead in it, and they might have an advantage here. They do! Huge bump on the goal line, leaves it wide open for extra.
You just simply cannot let BDS have this much pressure for so long. Extra puts it as far away from Tox as possible. And just runs into the brick wall of Monkey Moon. Couldn't get past it. 1-0. And we already know BDS coming in off a massive win streak. Dropped their first 2 games against Vitality. End up winning the next 4. Following that, as Mark's going to look to keep the pressure up. Tox finally gets the clears going, but so far, Giants not finding a way out of their own side of the field. This is going to be an answer they've got to get very quickly in this series. They want to have any success.
Wow.
Infield pass has already got someone on the backboard. Giants still under pressure. There's number 2.
Yeah, BDS are just riding that wave of momentum from winning 4 games in a row against Vitality. And it doesn't look like Giants are prepared to counter these goal line demos. That's 2 goals. Both of them have involved the goal line demo. And Shogun, I had a chance to listen in, or not listen in, but read some of the chat that was happening between these 2 teams pre-match. They've got a lot of respect for each other. They're both very happy to be facing against each other in the final. But I think Giants are the team who are more happy to be playing against BDS in the final rather than the quarterfinal that they had to play them in last week. I think they do feel like the underdogs here. That's the big help to them, though. And of course, it wouldn't be a goal in this grand final without the last man getting demoed from the play.
Certainly not. That lead is now cut in half. And it is incredible to see all of these players very much a part of the next generation of Rocket League. And I know you especially can sort of add a little bit more to this as well, because, not only are they next to each other on the field, but some of these guys are in the same house.
Yeah, Mark by 8 and Samway currently roommates. Well, not roommates, they're living together. But I did ask them,
are
you guys...
being the word mates might be a little bit of a stretch.
See, well, they're room enemies, I guess, for this match, but then they'll go back to being roommates. Yeah, I did ask them, are they in the same room? No, they answered they're not, but they are in the same house. And it's apparently very easy for Giants to hear when BDS are winning, because obviously Mark is yelling so loudly every time that they score that they can, well, Samway especially is having the results spoiled for him as he's watching that semi-final against Vitality. He knows a goal must be coming, so he hears Mark yelling at the other side of the house. I've also been promised that if Samway scores a flip reset shot over the top of Mark, he is going to run all the way to Mark's room and yell what a save at him, and then hopefully make it back to his PC before the next kickoff.
Tell you what, he'd be setting plenty of records on that one. We've already got teams trying to set records for regional wins. But I think that might just be the quickest any human would have ever moved if he is capable of that.
Well, if we see his car stationary on a kickoff after he scored a good goal, you know what's happened.
He's got to get the rule 1 going, I reckon. I will give him a little bit more time. So we do see the last minute and 40 on the clock. Still a 2-1 deficit for Giants. And they still just haven't had an answer just yet to reliably get out of their own side of the field. They're going to take Zamway, but it's not a great first touch. Mark Bayer instantly comes in. The follow-up from Monkey Moon straight at Tox. Here's the constant annoyance against BDS, because you expect him to always be full pelt, but they mix in those, slower plays. They mix in a few fakes. Makes gauging rhythm against them so difficult, as Extra has got Mark in the midfield. Might not take him, actually. It's a good reset position.
Oh.
Backboard. Here is Mark, and it's 2 players required to keep the shot out.
Yeah, really important there for Giants. They can't allow BDS to pick up another goal. Chances have been few and far between for Giants to get on the score sheet today, or so far in this grand final. I think the RLCS got it right. This Giants team, they're a team who try to beat you to every ball, but unfortunately for them, BDS are a team who do beat you to every ball. So this is really their nightmare matchup, as BDS might just be doing what they do, but a little bit better.
The question is, you know, you're going to come into these sort of series in a grand final, you want to play your game. But to play your game on this one, you're also playing your opponents. So whichever team can set the rhythm and set the momentum will be the happier of the two. Mark pulls Zamway into defensive question. Just haven't managed to get that challenge going their way, but that is a good clear. Zamway's pressuring Mark.
Oh,
and he's got him.
Oh! I just wonder what he's yelling to the other side of the house right now. He must be, surely, after... I mean, there's not any better ways to score on your roommate in a grand final than bumping him over the goal line while your teammate equalizes 2-2. And every single goal so far has involved a play on a goalkeeper. These guys are holding nothing back.
They are really stretching the limit of what we are capable of doing in terms of pace in this game. Rather just not have that race anymore, remove the other player entirely. On the backboard is Zamway. Just to take this ball down. They got caught from this position last time, and very well could be the same situation now, but marked by 8 doesn't want to deal with Tox. And we do have overtime.
Wow. Well, now I just want to know what's Spanish for what is safe, because that's what we're about to... That's inevitably what's going to happen at the end of this game. Outside the game. Oh, that would have been what a save moment if that had been on target. Luckily, Steak had it. Will he have this one? No, he won't, but Tox will. What a save by Tox, and this time in the complimentary fashion.
And this time, they will just about get away with it, but I don't think we're going to get a better example of how small the margins are going to be. One mistake like that, one miss on the ball, and we saw Vodafone Giants put into pure panic as they had to scramble players back to keep the ball out of their net. Cannot afford any more mistakes like that. BDS will not let them away with it again. It's going to drop down for Tox. Are they going to be able to make the 2-goal comeback and then convert it into a win? Still on the pressures. The longest Giants have had them in this blue side of the field all game long, and unfortunately, that did not last that long at all.
I think BDS are starting to feel the pressure, Shogun. Giants are not letting up with their bumps. That's a great interception by Giants as well. On that infield pass, they bounced across very quickly, but they were there at the same time. BDS need to calm down a little here. They are rushing their defensive clears, and they're getting caught in the midfield. This wasn't happening earlier on in the game. Tox is going to get his shot safe, but there's a follow-up again. Well closed down. Both teams shutting down these center balls. Will they get this one? Zamway denied by Monkey Moon, who's had a brilliant day so far. No less than his semi-finals against Vitality.
Not a great touch in the midfield. Monkey Moon's got a little bit of time, though. Chooses to go to the wall, where he has got marked by 8, ready and waiting, and he's unchallenged. He recognizes it nice and quickly. Goes up the wall. He's going to start dropping down. Stakes already up, but no challenge from his opposing team. Off the corner! What a thunderous shot by Mark by 8.
That is unbelievable. On the turn, marked by 8, snipes the top corner, and Steak could not do anything about it. He just had to watch painfully as it squeezed between himself and the post. That's unreal. Marked by 8 is having such a great season. I think maybe the player who's improved the most between Season 9 and Season X for Rocket League. I'm so impressed by him, and to be able to produce that at the highest level with such consistency again and again, hats off to him. This is unbelievable to watch.
So, the game one we wanted, Johnny?
I would say so.
Absolutely.
Well, not the game that Zamway wanted, or Vodafone Giants, but it was almost. They had their chances. They fought back bravely. And, you know, I think they probably needed that a little bit more. So it's really bad news for them that they have lost, because that would have been a brilliant way to completely stop the BDS momentum in its tracks. They, of course, won 4 games in a row. Well, they have actually won 4 series in a row as well in this tournament, but they won 4 games in a row in the semi-final against Vitality. And it was almost the perfect comeback with 3 consecutive goals. Giants could have stopped them in the tracks. However, BDS with another huge clutch play, marked by 8. What an unbelievable strike that is.
I don't think we still do the player of the days, but right now it would be unofficially going over to him. Outstanding throughout the entirety of today, and now they have dropped 25% of the work Only 3 more games to go if you are Team BDS towards being back-to-back regional champions. And this might be the perfect way to start. Shot is shut down.
Oh, Monkey Moon actually doing a pseudo step over there, just driving right in front of the ball as Mark was lining up the shot. Almost worked out. I like the idea. Oh, brilliant rebound by Tox. Having to ignore the defender who was in front of him. And now is the time for Giants to respond. BDS are playing at an unbelievable pace. And they look really consistent. They didn't honestly make any mistakes in the last game. They were just outplayed twice. So Giants aren't going to get anything for free.
Already up. Tox for Zamway. Off the backboard. There's the double commit. You're not going to get a better chance. But Monkey Moon has already managed to scrape his way back. Maybe get off the backboard. Monkey Moon again called into action. How much longer can BDS keep this out? It is an outstanding touch by Extra. And it looks like BDS have survived it, at least for the time being. Double tap off the crossbar.
Wow. The pace that these two teams are playing at is just blistering. You know, I've been talking up Space Station Gaming all season so far as maybe being the best team in the world, but this series looks like the fastest series in the world right now. I don't think there's 2 teams across the pond who are willing to play as quickly as this. I mean, where are they finding all the boost to move this quickly? I'm in awe about how consistent this pressure is from both teams. Big chance, Stake. Unable to beat Monkey to that one.
This is good pressure from Vodafone Giants. They get that proof that they can lock down BDS for a little bit of time. Into the midfield, and it didn't matter. Monkey Moon will get the first goal.
It was awkward for Tox. It was awkward for the Giants. Tox really wanted to deny that ball from centering. You could see that he was angling his car to keep it in the corner, but he got dunked on, and maybe a bit risky not to jump into that ball. He's playing a bit of a greedy game there by just driving up behind it and not flipping into it. And that's the price you pay. This is a great chance though for Tox to redeem himself. He's denied by a recovering Monkey Moon, who's putting up a defensive clinic in game 2.
So, BDS still in the driver's seat, but it doesn't last long. Vodafone Giants want to push them straight over onto the other side, back into the passenger seat.
Perfect pass by Tox. Stake was in full stride there, and he played it right in front of him. Lovely little celebration there between both teams with the demo. But funnily enough, that's how Giants were warming up for this game. They get to play about in the lobby before game 1 goes live, and that's really all Tox and Stake were doing, is bumping into each other, teammates that is. While BDS were mostly motionless. So 2 different, very different styles of warming up for a game. Oh, it's another big chance. It's on the goal line. Monkey Moon will put it in. More misfortune for Giants, but credit to BDS. They're the ones who are going higher on the challenges. Second dunk resulting in a goal.
Again, Vodafone Giants just can't quite get the timing down. Going in for those challenges, you always want to be second. You always want to be a little bit higher. And it does seem like BDS are getting the timing very much set for themselves. Vodafone Giants almost tetchy in a way. They just want to get to that ball as quickly as they possibly can. And that has led to a few bad situations for them. Zamway gets the drop. Not going to be a run-on shot, but still Tox tries to take control. One thing that has been very interesting that I feel like both of these teams have exemplified by a second, as marked by 8 just powers the ball off the backboard. But these teams have, more than anyone else, really started to exemplify... Oh my goodness, I can't even put anything together right now. These two are just trying to throw a thing. Oh, dearie me. About like how you can go off the backboard to set up, but they've also been feinting it a few times and then just levering top corner. It's very difficult as a defender to try and figure out which one's coming your way.
Indeed, it's not just pure speed in this matchup, it's pure speed and also deception. We saw a fake shot from Tox setting up the 1 goal that Giants did score in this game. The fact that they're able to pull out these mind games, whether it's an obvious mind game like this, where Zamway's wiggling around behind the ball trying to disguise when he's going to flick it, or a less obvious mind game when the player's just pretending to shoot the ball and passing instead. These guys are best in the business at making that happen at full speed. But it looks like BDS are having it a bit too easy right now. That's 2 games in a row where they've been pretty consistently able to establish their game and to establish their pressure plays onto Giants, who look like they might have had the wind taken out of their sails. They've been playing brilliantly all day and honestly look to be BDS match, or look to be able to match BDS right now. But where is that, excessive creativity? Where's the confidence to beat BDS to the ball like they do to everybody else?
He is keen to remember that these are very inexperienced players, and when you do get to this sort of level, you do get to this sort of stage, we've seen a lot of players sort of almost turtle up a little bit and go for what they think is the safer route rather than what they would do under, like, say, scrim situation, grid, maybe even earlier on in the tournament. Adding the word grand finals to these sort of things does make players act very differently. Tox off the backboard. Here comes that way! 2-2!
And there it is. There's the passing play that we've been waiting for. Tox deciding whether or not to go off the ceiling there. I think he actually got into the box a bit faster by avoiding the ceiling route there. And that's caught the BDS defense completely out of position. Brilliant pass, though. And again, the approach from the back post leaves BDS with no answer. Extra's got a shot on the kickoff, though. It's just wide. That was a little bit lucky for Giants. They left their net open on one side.
You do get the feeling that if Vodafone Giants can get a little bit of momentum on their side, they are more than capable of matching BDS for long periods of time. They even start off this game looking very equal and even controlling the field for a little while. And we'd say that these sort of tournaments are decided by moments. They very well could be referring to something like this. As this could be an opportunity, Snake with it! And it is off the post, and maybe that is one of those moments that they'll want back.
Oh, certainly. He'd rather, well, you got to hit the target on 0 seconds so there's nobody at the far post to rebound the ball. If you'd rather force the save than put the ball wide. Then again, perfect placement is needed in this kind of matchup. And, oh, good save by Stake. That third man from BDS was ready to attack that ball as it rebounded a second time. That's something both these teams will do consistently. They don't wait with their third man. They don't rotate all the way back for that defensive corner boost while the other two players are attacking. They will follow up. They will support each other. They will take those opportunities. I'm impressed by BDS defense over all this game, Shogun. There's been one double commit, and apart from that, they've been extremely difficult to break down.
Gonna need to keep this up, though. They cannot afford to drop another overtime. They'd be down only by 2 goals across the series, but they'd be more than 2 games down overall. This could be it, Monkey Moon! Top corner, hat-trick hero!
Oh, what a game for Monkey Moon, but that's the mistake. There's no denying it. Tox and Samway both kind of getting in each other's way there. And Tox needs to knock that ball into the corners, just dumping it out into the middle of the box with a player like Monkey Moon charging it down. That's never going to be a good idea, but BDS are going to take it. 2-0. I'm feeling pretty confident so far about my my prediction of who's going to win this, but not so much about my score prediction. I did think this would go to Game 7. And although Giants have looked capable and competitive in the matchup, they are being outplayed in the clutch.
Yeah, it definitely feels like they have matched BDS, at least in the sprint, but the issue is they're losing their footing on occasion. They're slipping. Yeah, and other side, BDS just happy to keep running full pace. Vodafone Giants got to figure something out here because they are doing incredibly well. But there's little mistakes happening here, and those little mistakes are very costly.
Yeah, it all happens so fast at this level, and it all happens so fast between these two teams especially. One mistake at one end of the field just turns into a goal split seconds later. But still, I think Giants have got a chance in this. They're not out yet. Obviously, they're not out. They could come back, just like BDS did 4 games in a row against Vitality after losing 2. However, I think you brought up a good point in the last game, and that is that BDS are looking more comfortable here. They've been here before. They were grand finalists and champions of the last major, or the last regional, I should say. Giants, they were knocked out in the quarterfinal of the last regional by BDS. So not only is this their first grand final, but it's their first grand final against a team who I don't think they're too confident against. But at this point, all caution has to be thrown to the wind. They've got to go for it. I don't see them coming back from 3 games down, which I don't think many people would. But let's see what they can do from 2 down.
And we have already talked about how fast these teams are, but during that break, we actually saw Vodafone Giants slow it down as the shot comes in. Tok's going to keep it out. Samway comes in to clean up the mess. But we do try and ready up these matches, 30 seconds remaining. There was still the whole of Vodafone Giants waiting on the ready up, definitely taking a few moments to talk things through and try and reset themselves.
Yeah, it's a smart idea. Oh, what a save by Samway. Unreal. Extra. Almost got the rebound to go on target. Communication does look to be a bit chaotic for Giants. Seen numerous double commits in the last few minutes, but I'd rather see 2 players going for that ball than nobody at all. So they're not taking the worst possible outcome there. And that one save by Tox earlier on in the game was brilliant. Not only keeping the ball at the net, but keeping it really close to the wall, basically hugging the back wall. And it doesn't look like a great clear because he needs somebody else to come in and do that for him. But in the meantime, BDS weren't able to take a shot on that ball, which is all that matters really. Now Steak's got a free shot at the other end, and all 3 BDS players would have been able to save that one.
I just saw 2 BDS players commit, and then the camera turned around for the shot, and all 3 of them were back on the goal line. You do not get time to react when it comes to BDS mistakes. You have got to be right on top of it. And that's the danger, because they are just so quick that you do have a commit against them. They will catch you. Here is Tox, couldn't turn it in. And it's that same issue, Johnny. Vodafone Giants need to be aware that BDS can trip on occasion, and they've got to be ready just to dive on in for it. Oh, huge mistake off the backboard. Tox will at least recover.
If Giants ever catch BDS boost starved like they did there, if they get any kind of idea that BDS might be struggling and also playing with no momentum in the goal area, then they have to cut those rotations a bit short. If Tox had turned around earlier there, I think he would have had an open bottom corner for that rebound, but instead it's looking like BDS will score again. They will. Monkey Moon continuing to score at will. But what a play by Extra. He's just gone past everybody at the near post there. That's a 1v3 assist.
Stretching them right now, Johnny. They really are. BDS have now really begun to dominate. And maybe, just maybe, those first 2 games were even more needed than we thought they were. And trust me, we thought they were needed. Off the backboard. Here's the double! And marked by 8. Will he hit it? Oh, will he ever?
Wow. First touch from the halfway line. And then Marks puts the rebound in the corner of the goal. He didn't have to. You know, anything near the corner would have done the trick, but Mark only knows how to hit top bins. And BDS look completely unstoppable. Already, I think, best team in EU, regardless of what happens to the rest of this series. What they've been able to do in this tournament up until now is absolutely crazy. Well, maybe, just maybe, you know, I'm still pretty confident what I just said, but maybe I'm talking too soon. Monkey Moon did just hit the ball complete wrong direction.
It feels like Monkey has decided already that he wants to find new challenges, and he can only find it with the best in Europe, and that seems to be his team. So he decided to try and take them on. There's number 3. They are running away with it.
Wow. You know, we've seen these guys bounce back from adversity as well. Unfortunately, it's getting worse and worse for Giants. Samway wasn't even close to that ball as he tried to read it bouncing off his backboard. And it's just all too easy for BDS. How on earth this team have been able to show up and play as well as they have in these consecutive grand finals for EU, it really blows my mind. We're not looking at a seasoned RLCS team here. We're looking at a team who have just recently made it into the top flight of competition. Now, Giants likewise. Both these teams are from the same generation at the rival series. That was a bit too cheeky. Great read, though, by Steak. He just called Mark by 8's bluff there. He thinks, I don't think you're going to shoot that ball. You're going to infield past that one, aren't you? And he was absolutely right that time.
And it is a gift, but it's a gift that Vodafone Giants have to take. They got them back down to 2. That's a side flip. This could very well be a 3-goal lead back. But when you're looking at this game from a 3-goal deficit, you don't get the feeling that Giants can do it. From 2 goals down, it's a game that they've just got to throw everything in for now. They cannot afford to have to reverse sweep a truly dominant BDS side.
Yeah, they've slowed down, Shogun. The Giants look a bit sluggish compared to games 1 and 2. Big mind game by Monkey Moon, just hits the brakes and watches the player dodge right by him. That's something we did see BDS, you know, really play well at over and over again against Endpoint. Hang on, this is more than half a chance, but Extra's easily going to close down Samway's dribble. Giants again slowing the game down. Not like they have too many options sometimes, but still, that's not really how we're used to seeing them play. And especially when you're down 2 goals with barely over a minute remaining, this is the time to, you know, push even their limits on what is possible in the rebound reading category of the game. Will they be even given 2 chances to score? I don't know if they're going to get a couple of realistic opportunities. This BDS side's defense just too good, and it proves to be unbreakable at the perfect moment. It's a good shot again. Goalkeeper's there. It's just brilliant response every time by BDS. They're going to walk in a 4th goal, and I'm not surprised. Giants had to stretch themselves thin to attempt the comeback, and BDS are more than capable of playing that counter-attacking style.
Yeah, BDS have definitely got a reputation for being very fast offensively, but got the lead. They know how to sit on it. It's just been outstanding so far. Really is an exhibition of what BDS have truly been capable of. As for Vodafone Giants, you know, you kind of have to turn around and say, well, Rocket League's not a turn-based strategy game, lads. You've got the 2v1 lead for a little while in terms of players, and they keep taking too long to take advantage of it. They set up for the perfect play, and by the time it's actually set up, we have already got BDS with a few players back, even demoing the player that they want to pass the ball to.
Yeah, this is just ridiculously impressive. And this, I'd say this run today has been more impressive for BDS than their run through Regional 1. You know, they beat Vitality both times, but this one proved the first time wasn't a fluke. So I think that's an even more impressive accomplishment. I think that the grand final, at least the first couple of games here, were much tougher than BDS against Top Blokes in Regional 1 grand final. And also, they even managed to dodge a massive upset. Guild coming into today with really nobody expecting anything good from them. And BDS, even when they were the heavy favorites, still able to produce a good. So it doesn't really matter what position you put these guys in. It doesn't really matter how they feel about their opponents. They are showing up every single time. And yeah, the level of play that they're producing here in this tournament, I would even go as far to say that they are now the EU Space Station Gaming. This looks so similar in terms of the consistent domination that we're seeing.
So the question really becomes now is Vodafone Giants, what have they got left? They're now on day number 4 of competition. They've now got to win 4 matches in a row, because if they don't, what is a grand final seems to be just turning into a ceremony where we crown BDS as the undisputed best in the region. Giants don't want that. They've got to figure something out within the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, let's just see. They're just going to take it one game at a time, but oh dear. Game doesn't start off too well this time either. That's about the worst possible start they could have got. Tox is just landing way off the wall there. I'm not sure what he was doing up there, but the rotation back was too late, and it's another easy goal for BDS. You look at how many they've got in the easy goals category in the last couple of games, and you think that they've not given away any easy goals here. That really is one of the differences between these two teams. But there we go. Finally a response for Giants before the game is gone. And this is more like what we're used to seeing from them. Quick rebounds and really no way for their opponents to catch up.
You have to put all 3 players into the play. If you think you're going to take down BDS using only 2, they are going to have a different answer for you, but that is more than needed. Off the kickoff, extra flip reset. He pulls it, marked by 8.
Wow.
I have no idea how Tox was able to read that. I don't even know if he did read it. Just planted the car, hope for the best, and the best definitely happened. I
think he reacted to it. He just saw what was happening in front of him, and great job by him not to pre-jump for no reason. Because sometimes, you know, goalkeepers will concede in those kind of positions by pre-jumping and just hoping, like you said, just hoping that they somehow guess where the ball's going to end up. But there, it actually went pretty straight at him. So by waiting, he ended up making a much more solid save. He's got to do it again, though. It's just so free, but Tox is first to the free ball. Finally, Giants are starting to win those races. We always see them win when they're winning series.
Extra. He's put it straight onto Tox, but shot will not trouble Mark. And actually now Extra becomes a passing option downfield. I love this right now. It's very much gone back to the backboard being as big as it was back in Season 3, but now the pace. It's just a blur. It really is. These teams dashing, blitzing towards this ball every single time. Maybe sometimes it's not even to get a hold of the shot on target. It is just to take another player out. Monkey Moon was finding target that time around. It's kept out this time.
After a shaky start to the game with that poor rotation from Tox, Giants have really stepped it up, and Tox as well, with a couple of great saves, many good interceptions. Oh dear, Samuel's off the goal line here. I don't think he expected the ball to bounce across, but he's got to be ready for it either way. Just moving a few car widths to the left would have been all he needed to do to be perfectly safe in that position. That was risky, and Giants have got away with it.
Yeah, and then he ended up clattering into the ball in the corner. Monkey Moon looks to find the net. Oh my goodness, marked by 8. Well, he scored some bangers. This one didn't need to be. On the goal line, it's a tap-in.
Extra has cleared Tox all the way across to the other side of the field. Tox started off in the back corner closest to the ball. He ended up all the way at the other wall. That was the chain bump from Extra. Chain bump and a half, really. But yeah, poor Stake. He couldn't defend against the two players there. And it's just not looking possible for Giants. BDS have, you know, they're happy to be playing against their friends in this grand final. These two teams are very close and they have a lot of respect for each other, but they're really showing them no mercy when they get there. It's like you said, from roommates to room enemies, and then maybe back to roommates at the end of the series. But for now, BDS are relentless.
That's going to be looking for the minute.
Oh, wow.
Extra skims past the ball. I don't know how many Unreal units were between him and the bull, but certainly wasn't many. Monkey Moon with Mark by 8 up in support. He's going to be called off. As Stake actually, well, he could just prize him off more than calls him off.
I don't know how Extra missed that ball. He
no idea
like
either.
Something out of the Matrix.
Maybe we can give him a shout, tell him that the new Merc hitbox has come in.
That's true. With the Merc hitbox, he probably would have hit that ball. You're right there.
Oh my goodness, wait a second. Tox off the backboard. Here's a follow from Extra. And it is a poor rotational timing from the rest of Vodafone Giants that they just couldn't get someone in time. Minute and a half here, Johnny. All to do for Vodafone Giants, and they're not seeing enough of the blue side of the field to really warrant much hope from us or the viewers at home.
And they don't. Luckily, they're only backed by 1 goal, so they're not on, you know, their total last set of wheels here. When you're down 2 goals, yeah, you need lots of chances. Probably you're going to need to really get the attack going over and over again. Just constant pressure. But down by 1, they just need to take their 1 chance when they get it. This could be it. Samway has some space here. Good challenge by Extra. And there is a lot to think about there. Was it going to be the reset? Was it going to be the air dribble bump? Oh, that's almost it. And it looks like BDS might be getting a bit too comfortable here. Either that or the pressure, the realization of what they're about to accomplish is hitting them. Giants unable to capitalize so far on any of these mistakes.
Now it's going to be 2v1. Pass over to Extra. It's in.
Wow.
Monkey Moon gets his 2-goal lead established. And that is a mountain stacked on top of another one that Vodafone Giants have got to climb.
Oh, poor Giants. That was actually, I think the last touch came in off Tox, but he was just trying to demo. He was trying to demo the BDS players. He wasn't really interested in hitting the ball towards his own goal. Now here comes Samway. This is our must-score play, but really not good enough for Giants. And their third man's demoed. I don't think they're going to get it, Shogun. This has been a brave fight, and it started off looking so close and so promising for Giants, but it's absolutely fallen apart, and it's really not their own fault. BDS have been brilliant today, and I don't think anybody's going to question it. They're the top team in EU after this. Almost another goal, actually, but Mark got there a bit too soon. That would have just been for this celebration, I think, as the game is seconds away from being confirmed. BDS going to be the 2-time regional champions, and boy, do they deserve it.
I think many of us will question what this could have looked like if the first 2 games ended up being splitting. Space Station Gaming will look to do the same next week. But for today, Team BDS, 2-time back-to-back regional champions. And my goodness, Johnny, they are the team to beat in Europe.
Incredible. You know, we've had there's been some questions around this team. They've not been as successful in the weekly grid tournaments as they have been in the RLCS regionals. And we were wondering, okay, they've been losing a lot in the grid. So was Regional 1 just a fluke? Well, now we can clearly see it wasn't. They've improved on their previous result. They made an even more impressive run, going completely undefeated. And nobody in Europe looks like they're going to be able to stop these guys if they can play at that top level. Yes, you know, Vitality got a couple of games off them when they caught BDS cold early on in the semifinals, but once BDS got rolling, there was just nobody this side of the pond who was able to get in their way.
I think for the rest of Europe and maybe for the rest of the world right now, everyone's going to be looking at Team BDS and saying, man, I really hope that they're only this good online. Because once we do get the opportunity to go back to LAN, I mean, that's the only question we've got left for them here is, can you do it? You know, in a live setting, can you do it with a crowd? It's a question that we will have to hold on for because I can't wait for when we do get the opportunity to do that. But for the time being, BDS, they just smashed. They smashed top blokes in the last one. They, you know, just did even further than that, actually, on this one against Vodafone Giants. And it was a game Vodafone Giants as well. They came in this ready to play. Just for Giants, do you think that this is a little bit of an experience for them that they can take a lot from? Because first 2 games looked like they were matching them. Just those little mistakes, those little catastrophes swayed this series an awful lot.
Yeah, well, one of the things I did see being said from the Giants to BDS pre-match was it's good to see in the finals. Hopefully we get many more finals like this, not quarterfinals like Regional 1. But after tonight, I don't know if they want more finals against BDS. I think they're going to be quite happy if somebody else takes BDS out for them, because that was just brutal to watch. Just pure killer instinct from BDS, taking out one of the teams that they are closest to in this in the EU region. With no mercy. And I mean, why should they show any mercy? There's a lot of money on the line here. There's a lot of RLCSX points in the line. And right now, BDS are just taking the top spot again and again. You know, some people don't like seeing one team domination. Everybody, some people prefer when there's different teams trading wins and different teams winning titles. But honestly, I could watch BDS win tournaments all day. They're fantastic to watch.
I mean, the great thing about sort of the situation, you know, yes, it's not fantastic that we don't get to see the best teams in the world playing against each other right now, but that first matchup, that very first time we get to see, you know, a team like BDS against Space Station Gaming, it almost comes like a fantasy match at this point.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it
almost feels like, you know, not having it makes that first one even more important once we do get a hold of it, because man, I just simply cannot wait. As for the time being, Johnny, I want an early prediction from you. Can Space Station do the same?
I think they can. I think Space Station can get the double as well. I think they're still the top team in NA. They had one little blip, quarterfinal exit in the grid. But yeah, right, they're doing what BDS are doing in EU, except they're also winning all the grid tournaments as well. They're not just winning the RLCSX regional, so they can go one better actually. They can, if they can win the second regional for North America, but it's not going to be easy. I think that the NA scene is going to be catching up. You know, they do say that it's easier. You learn more from your losses, so maybe that's just the rest of the NA scene playing the long game. Maybe that's what the EU scene are doing to BDS. They'll hit them with the loss when at the very end of the year in the World Championship before BDS can learn anything. So at this rate, I mean, are they learning anything if they get only wins, only W's? I think they are really, but yeah, kudos to them. They're fantastic. They deserve all the praise and they deserve all the congratulations for this run. And yeah, like I said, Gauntlet has been thrown. Can Space Station Gaming do what BDS have just done in Europe? I think it's possible, but it's not going to be easy.
Certainly will not. Well, it is BDS's victory to celebrate, and to break down how they managed to do it, going to hand you back to Leaf.